Anyways, we'll talk about this in our match reviews. Not our match reviews, our
show reviews.
Show recaps. Anyways, let's do this. Let's talk about SmackDown. Let's go.
Solo basically challenges Cody for a rematch for the WWE title in a steel cage.
Yep.
And it's going down tonight as we're recording this.
Yeah.
So we'll cover that next week. But he lays out the challenge. We're going to talk a lot about the Bloodline this week. They got busy these last couple of shows.
I do want to point out, so someone commented about how this rivalry is better than what we claimed.
So,
okay.
Yeah, we claimed that Punk and McIntyre was not just the rivalry of the summer, but the rivalry of the year.
So far, yeah.
That nothing was
going on right now
over it. There was a viewer, which much respect.
Hey, people have their opinions.
Opinions are like noses. Everybody has
I get where they're coming from.
Yeah, he stated that it was a crazy statement. That's a crazy statement that Punk and McIntyre is the top rivalry.
And they believe the Roman Reigns bloodline story is the true
best storyline of the year.
Now,
and their evidence was that once Roman lost the title, the crowd continuously chanted for Roman.
Exactly. And we all knew at some point he would return. We didn't know when. Mm-hmm. We didn't know how. We saw the setup for it. The only thing, really, for me, personally, like why I don't think this is as big as a rivalry, first of all, it hasn't had as much. It hasn't been near as long. It hasn't had many significant events. The only thing significant that's happened is that Solo's turned on everybody. Solo claims to be the new tribal chief. Mm-hmm. Number 2, Roman Reigns returned. Mm-hmm. Number 3, Roman Reigns beats Solo. Solo then beats Roman Reigns up, and then that's it. That's it. We haven't seen anything else
up to this point.
Yeah, we haven't.
Things could change
now.
And the fact is, we don't necessarily have a huge emotional connection to this new bloodline.
Yeah.
Now, Punk and McIntyre, we know them. We know their backstory. We have a personal connection to them.
Now, and with this new bloodline, it just doesn't hit the same as the old bloodline.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit the same as Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa. It doesn't match that, in my opinion. It doesn't have that. It's kind of like the new Judgment Day.
Now, I think what this guy was kind of trying to state was that he was focusing a bit on the hype of Roman's return.
Yeah.
Was what he was singling in on.
But
comparing to the Punk and McIntyre rivalry.
At least with Punk and McIntyre, their rivalry, they were able to carry on for how many months? Mm-hmm. How many PLEs?
And it's not like this rivalry has been growing old or anything. They've done 2 matches, and there's going to be a third one, and we're just as hyped for the third one as we were for the second and first.
Yeah, and it's going to be a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah,
so that makes me even more hyped than the other two. So
you know it's going to be violent.
You know it's going to be crazy. You know this is probably going to be the last match for this rivalry.
For a little while.
For a bit. Yeah. Of course, they're going to still hate each other, and we're going to get some things out of that. Mm-hmm. But I think this is it for now. Mm-hmm. And then we'll see Punk probably focusing on Gunther, maybe.
I'm assuming, yeah.
And then we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But with Roman Reigns, and I feel like what they're doing right now is that they're kind of stalling it right now. They're stalling Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa for Survivor Series.
And I see something going down tonight on SmackDown.
With maybe steel
Roman,
cage.
Roman showing up. Especially because it's the first SmackDown on the USA Network. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think tonight's SmackDown is going to be 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think it's just tonight.
I think so because the new whatever.
Yeah.
It's more like company stuff rather than doing it for us.
Yeah. So I think just for tonight, it's going to be 3 hours. So I think we'll see some big things. I think we could possibly see John Cena or The Rock show up as well.
Maybe. I mean, why not?
Why not? You want to kick it off in a big way.
Maybe The Rock shows up after Cody Rhodes' match. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
Maybe The Rock tries to help Solo win, and Roman comes out and stops him.
So is Rock one of the members of the new bloodline?
I think he will be.
And then we'll get a Roman versus Rock match. I'd rather see that at Mania than Cody and Rock.
Cody and Rock. Then what do you do with Cody? Randy?
I would be more involved. I would be more focused in on that match than Cody versus Rock. Because here's the thing about Cody versus Rock. We've heard me complain about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that this match is WrestleMania worthy because we know the outcome.
You just want it to be no title involved. That would make
that
opens up possibly The Rock has a better chance of winning if there's no title.
Because first of all, we all know The Rock ain't gonna hold that championship, and if he does hold it, he's gonna lose it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it won't be a very long title reign if he has it.
But yeah, we'll see. Maybe The Rock will win it, and then Cody will go on to regain his chance for WrestleMania. I don't know. But still, I just don't think that this is the right call. I don't think it's the right call.
Hot takes.
It's a hot take, but there's got to be some people out there that get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I know we're kind of drifting off topic from talking about SmackDown, but
hey,
I think Kevin Owens should have won the title at Bash in Berlin.
That would have, like I said before.
Holy cow, if he would have turned heel and won the title from Cody.
Like we said before, if that happened, imagine the amount of people that would tune into that next SmackDown.
That next SmackDown.
Maybe the next Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about it.
And then you could do a rematch at Bad Blood and have Cody regain the title if you want. But you add that excitement.
You gotta add the spice.
The spice.
You gotta put a little seasoning on this. We can't do what we did with Roman Reigns last year, where they just kept giving him these matches that we all knew the outcome was just so they could fill it in for Cody versus Roman at Mania.
Which almost didn't happen.
Yeah, because of The Rock.
All right, let's get back into SmackDown a little bit. Bayley went one-on-one with Tiffany Stratton.
Yep.
Bayley picks up the big W. It's looking like we're gonna get a rematch between her and Nia Jax,
which we called
at Bad Blood.
Which we called. Yep. We got to see the
debut of Giovanni Vinci, and I'm really curious to get your take on this. Did you see what happened with him?
Yeah, match ended in 2
against
seconds.
Apollo Crews. Let me hear your opinion on that.
At first, I don't know. With all people, it was Apollo Crews too, which was hilarious because you would think that since they put Apollo Crews in there, then they would give Vinci the win. Mm-hmm. Go Vanni Vinci, because he's the kind of person that they would put him in for a debut match. Anyways, I don't know where they're gonna go with this. I don't know if this is gonna be the last time we see him. I
hope they don't turn him into a jobber, where he's just doing this every week, where he's just losing. I mean, I see Giovanni Vinci has got some serious potential there. I'd like to see him go one-on-one with LA Knight for the U.S. title at some point down the line.
What do you think of his new persona?
See, I think it's interesting. It's got to sit in with me a little bit. I got to see it a few times.
This first time, we can't really say much because all we got to see was him.
I don't know if I'm totally for if they do him losing in weird ways every week.
Showing off his
and then losing. And then it's all right, that's going to get repetitive very quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
You can do it once, twice, maybe.
I did think it was very surprising, though, whenever it happened. Mm-hmm. Whenever he was... Well, as soon as I saw that the ref was, telling him to hurry up, and as soon as I saw the ref going ahead and ringing a bell while he's waiting for him, I was like, okay, so I see what's about to happen. I feel like we need to see what happens tonight. If we see him tonight, which I'm sure we will if it's a 3-hour show.
Yeah. They'll get him on the show.
What's next? We got
we got Kevin Owens defeating Grayson Waller, Austin Theory in a triple threat.
Triple threat.
On paper, it was a triple threat, but
handicap match. It might as well have been 2v1 handicap.
Do you still think Austin Theory is going to turn on Grayson Waller soon?
It's gotta. I don't know.
I
feel like they need to wait a tiny bit longer so they can set this up for Mania.
Ooh.
I feel like they should set up for Mania.
I don't know. I feel like Mania is too far where it's just going to get drug out.
Maybe.
A little bit.
Maybe they could do if they do Damian Priest and Finn Balor, then make it seem like they got things good. They have the life's going good for them for a while. Maybe even win the championships.
Grayson Waller turns on them.
And then whenever
like
they
maybe
lose,
Austin Theory gets a shot at the U.S. title against LA Knight.
Yeah.
And Grayson Waller costs him the match.
Yeah, I could see like them like with Finn Balor and Damian Priest. We saw them like after Money in the Bank from last SummerSlam, not the SummerSlam that just happened. They like made up. They're like, okay, let's just go ahead and focus on our own thing. And we thought, okay, maybe they're going to wait a little while. And that's what they did, which was a amazing call.
Yeah.
Great call to leave it. And I think they should do it with this. That's why I'm trying to point it. Just say it. I think they should just...
Yeah, I think they should go down kind of the similar route with Finn Balor and Damian Priest where Grayson Waller basically just gets kind of jealous of Austin Theory maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Austin Theory gets a shot at a U.S. title and Grayson's like, why didn't I get a shot?
Yeah.
Why does he get one and not me or something like that? And play it off in that way.
Or maybe like, you know how they had like qualifier matches for the Intercontinental Championship? Maybe they could do it for the United States title and have like, maybe like Austin Theory accidentally cost the match for Grayson and Austin Theory wins.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I just want to see it happen at some point. That's all I ask. If it's not at Mania, oh well.
Oh well. Speaking of the U.S. title,
I can wait though.
LA Knight, United States champion in his first reign, first title on the main roster, and second title pretty much overall. He won the $1 million championship at NXT. But this is his first like WWE main title.
Yeah.
And it's looking like he's in the middle of the Andrade Carmelo Hayes rivalry right now. He hits a BFT on both of them. And I think we're going to see a triple threat match, which I think would be a banger between the three.
Yeah, all of them, they all have the capabilities of making a great triple threat match. We got Andrade. We've seen him in the ring. We've seen him as a past champion. Carmelo.
Former United States champion.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. My bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've seen Carmelo Hayes in NXT, what he can do. Yeah. We've seen what he can do in SmackDown.
Him and Andrade, both former NXT champions.
Of course. And
Carmelo Hayes was also like North American champion.
Yeah. Yeah. And we also have the LA Knight.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, great way to get the crowd hype. Maybe this could be like the start of Bad Blood. Maybe like this match will start it off.
Ooh, that'd be a good banger to start off. Yeah.
To get the crowd hype or something. I would be so down for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Next match, we have the lovely Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green
defeats Michin with the help of Piper Niven.
Yep.
I think we both agree we can't get enough of Chelsea Green.
Yeah. Chelsea Green.
You put her at the start of the show, midway, at the end. It doesn't matter. Wherever you need her, she can deliver.
And we'll talk about this later, but Chelsea Green is also not only in SmackDown.
I know.
She's
getting the Pete Dunne treatment.
Yep.
She's working both shows.
She's trying to get the pay raise.
Get that pay raise.
Get that pay raise. Get the bonus.
And then we had the main event of the night, 8-man tag team match, the Bloodline against the Street Profits and DIY.
And they're using this as like a kind of a way to make it to where the Bloodline is seen as the higher rank.
Unstoppable. Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Especially going into this steel cage match. They want to make Solo look unstoppable as well as the rest of the Bloodline.
Yep. We'll talk about more of the Bloodline later. Don't worry about that. We've already talked about them enough.
But that's all of SmackDown.
Great show.
Great little quick recap. We got Monday Night Raw from September 9th. First match, which I thought was potentially going to main event the night. I think I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
But it kicked off the show. Wyatt Six defeats American Made in a street fight.
So, yeah, it's the 4 members of the Wyatt Six versus not the 4 members of, you mean Wyatt, besides Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy. It was technically like 5-on-4, but Uncle Howdy just kind of sat in his chair, and the rest of the Wyatt Six was in the match.
So technically it was 5v4, but it was 4v4 most of the time.
Yeah, you had Eric Rowan, you had Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross.
Yeah, it's like a mixed team too.
And then Ivy Nile, Chad Gable and the Creed brothers.
And first of all, I just want to say this is match of the night. Match of the last few nights.
Good way to kick off the show.
Whenever I was watching this match, I was thinking that this match was just as good or maybe even better than the Final Testament versus
the Pride.
The Pride at WrestleMania. I thought it was just as good as that.
Just as good. It's up there.
The way Eric Rowan absolutely just tore off the barricade
and just used it as like a battering ram.
There was so much happening at once during that match. I just loved it. I loved every second of it.
Mm-hmm. And Nikki Cross, when she took off the mask and saw her face, which for like the first time we saw her face since the storyline began.
And also she German suplex. Chad Gable. Oh!
You don't do that to Gable. You just don't do that.
No, you do if you're Nikki Cross.
Who's going to tell her no?
But yeah, I feel like after this match, this banger of a match.
Is it over? Is this rivalry over?
I feel like it's over.
Yeah.
Now, this is why. This is why I say that. At the end of the match, we have Chad Gable laid down. All the White Sixes hovering over him. And you could like hear Uncle Howdy saying like it's like an offering for someone. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing like an offering for Bray Wyatt. Yeah, he was like he was like offering him as like a sacrifice.
Like a sacrifice
to like Bray Wyatt. So I thought that was like signifying it's over.
So then, where do all of these guys go next? Let's start with American Made. Where do they go next?
I hope it's not with Alpha Academy.
Are you done with that?
But I feel like they're going to go back to it.
I feel like there's still a little unfinished business there.
Yeah.
A little bit left.
Yeah.
You could maybe do something at Bad Blood.
Maybe Otis versus Chad Gable at Bad Blood.
One-on-one. Otis versus Chad Gable.
I could see it.
Mid-card match, I think would be good.
You know, like, I feel like we said this maybe 2 episodes ago, saying that, like, Bad Blood should just be the show where they settle all the beef. Mm-hmm. All the beef. Just settle it all.
Settle all the beef.
Settle it all in one night. But maybe if they can build this, I say if they can build it up high enough in the time span that they have, then maybe it could go in Bad Blood.
I mean, they could do like a handicap match between Alpha Academy and American Made.
And do you think maybe they can like add a new member to Alpha Academy?
I don't necessarily know if they should.
I think they should.
I think they could get away with doing like a mixed handicap match.
Yeah.
I think you could get away with doing that.
We can see.
But what about White Six? Where do they go next?
So
showing up on SmackDown?
Now thinking about it, SmackDown would make sense.
Who's the person though? Who they go after?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's the question.
The question is not what show they're going to, but who they're going to.
Who would they go after?
Because I feel like they could just switch between Raw and SmackDown anytime they feel like it.
I mean, I should have asked you this before, but now I'm thinking about it. We talked about Kevin Owens, how he should have won the title but didn't. Since he didn't, where does he go next? Maybe Wyatt Six.
Maybe.
Kevin Owens turned on Sami Zayn all those years ago back in NXT. He turned on Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is known for turning on people. He turned on Kofi Kingston one time. Mm-hmm. He's known for turning his back on people.
We know that this group is not going after Braun Strowman because Braun Strowman's in his little thing with
Bronson Reed.
That's
another match I could see happening at Bad Blood.
Sami Zayn is with Gunther, so that wouldn't work. So I could see Kevin Owens now that you mention it. Mm-hmm. I could see it
because what's Kevin Owens got to do? Really?
I don't know.
Who do you put him with at this point? He's been fighting the bloodline for 4 years.
Yeah,
and everybody's sick of that. He's not. Nobody wants another Cody versus Kevin Owens match.
Maybe Randy Orton. I don't know. I think we should do Kevin first before we go after that.
Yeah, I think.
But
Kevin versus
also with Randy Orton, Randy betrayed Bray Wyatt himself before that Mania.
You're cooking.
So when he burned down the Wyatt house,
the Wyatt compound.
The Wyatt compound.
Compound.
If so, they might be going off of that. I don't know.
Cooking.
We'll see. I could definitely see the next target, I guess you can say, being one of those two. Though.
One of those two.
Because I agree. I am getting kind of bored from them going after the bloodline and fighting against the bloodline.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 4 years.
It's just
Kevin Owens has been fighting him for 4 years.
Yeah, since Roman Reigns won the title.
He's been fighting him.
Yeah. Wasn't he his first challenger after he won?
He was one of them. He had multiple title matches.
Yeah.
I know he was in like a last man standing match.
There's a steel cage match.
I think there may even been a TLC match or something.
Yeah.
He did all the matches.
I could see either. I don't know. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Next on the agenda for that night, you had Damian Priest agreeing to Finn Balor's challenge for a match at Bad Blood, and then they were attacked by the Judgment Day, and they pretty much they're still, it's kind of getting a little repetitive. The Judgment Day is just always going after trying to take out Priest and Rhea at the end of the night.
Yeah, I do agree with the repetitiveness. Mm-hmm. My question though is, what do we do after Bad Blood? Are we going to keep this going, or are we going to kind of calm it down a little bit?
See, we're getting, right? We're getting two. Surely we're getting Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley at Bad Blood, right?
I think they already confirmed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh, man. I don't know, dude.
I could see Rhea definitely winning the title.
Mm-hmm. And maybe Finn winning?
And maybe Finn Balor winning.
Because then you close the door on one side, but the door's still kind of open on the other.
Because you close the door that Judgment Day aren't like the superior group, but they also aren't the worst. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they had a win for the night. They also have a loss for the night. I could see that.
Yeah.
Just so, I don't know.
I think we're going to have a surprise. Something's going to happen at Bad Blood.
Yeah. I
know a lot of people are predicting that Liv might turn on Dom and join Finn, because Finn was the one that took that hotel key.
Yeah.
You remember a month or so ago?
Yeah.
So maybe like it's Liv and Finn who are in on it the whole time.
The question is, does Dom go back to Rhea Ripley then, if that's the case?
Well, if that's the case, that does open for some cool moments. You just see Dom just like pouting and being like begging Rhea to take him back. I think that opens the door for some cool comedic moments there. Some entertaining television. I can
definitely see a lot more story opening up if that happens. And also, I feel like that can definitely lead more from this story to the next pay-per-view. Because I don't see these guys doing anything else besides from fighting each other after Bad Blood.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left they can do.
Because they're already dealing with LWO stuff as well.
I would like to start seeing some more tag team championship stuff on both sides, Raw and SmackDown.
We are getting a tag team championship on Monday with the New Day.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the opportunity for the tag titles to go ahead and be in their own separate thing and not being part of the story? Or do you think that...
I don't know. I think they'll keep it on them a bit longer.
Or do you think like this is so they can like push the idea of Xavier Woods betraying Kofi Kingston?
They could.
It could go either way.
Because it does still seem like they're pushing that story even a little bit, even after the whole Odyssey Jones situation. Seems like they're still kind of pushing that storyline a bit.
They definitely calmed it down from last week, though. Mm-hmm. With after everything, that they were both.
They probably took a step back and probably had to redo some things. Speaking of tag team gold, we had the women's championship tag team titles on the line.
Yep.
You had Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill retaining against the Unholy Union. What did you think of this match, Caysen?
After, I said it was a bad decision from taking it to them because there's nothing going on SmackDown. But I'm starting to get the impression that they're going to still bring the titles over to Raw. Either way.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we saw a backstage segment between them and
Damage Control.
Damage Control's Io Sky and Kairi Sane.
Which I'm still...
And it seems like we're going to get a title match there soon.
So it seems like they're still going to have this tag titles in there, which I'm... Mm-hmm. So now I'm fine with Unholy losing it. I'm just hoping that they still get this on the Raw side.
I wish they would bring back... And I don't know if maybe there's an injury case or if there's something else behind the scenes going on, but like whatever happened to Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love to see... Because I was loving what they were doing with them.
Yeah.
Right before the draft.
I feel like it was... they did it so perfectly. They had the heel turn so perfectly, then they just threw it away.
Yeah, they just disappeared.
Yeah,
and they haven't been on the show. I'm like, man, dude, I'm loving this story so far.
I was too.
They're finally getting some good TV time. They're showing off, and they're telling a good story.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Maybe Triple H had better ideas.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ooh, and this next issue I want to bring up is what I kind of want to talk a bit about.
The most?
So we had Raw was in Canada. So who else to have as a special guest? None other than our hero, Bret the Hitman
of course.
Hart.
I forgot about this, yeah.
He came out in the crowd, big standing ovation, and he was talking.
He was a hero. He's
their hero. And he's interrupted by the world heavyweight champion, the ring general Gunther.
I just want to point out that Gunther is so good at
he's a villain. He's a great villain.
He's so good at complimenting people and then finding a way to reverse his compliments.
Reverse it and turn it into just a bigger insult.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that insult that I think you're referring to. So he goes and he's complimenting Bret Hart so much. And he's like, "You are my second favorite wrestler of all time. Second only behind Bill Goldberg." And the crowd goes nuts. Because if you know the backstory, it's Bret Hart hates Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
Because Bill Goldberg ended his career. He injured him and Bret had to retire. And he hates him for it. And to this day, Bret Hart still holds a huge grudge. And Gunther just exploited that.
It was a real low blow, which I'm telling you, every single week I love the mic work of Gunther more and more and more, and I can't get enough of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Sami Zayn comes out, challenges him again for the world title at Bad Blood, and Gunther says no.
But
big fat no.
I feel like that answer is gonna change soon because Sami then attacked Gunther.
Yeah, got a little bit of a scrap. Bret Hart basically called him a coward.
Yeah.
Not a champion. So, I mean, we're going to get it at Bad Blood.
We are.
And I think we both know Gunther's picking up that W.
Yep.
Speaking of picking up a big W, Dominic Mysterio defeats Dragon Lee.
Saw that coming.
So Dominic Mysterio's been on a roll lately. He's been getting the W.
They're definitely pushing the idea that the Judgment Day cannot be stopped.
No one's stopping them.
So that probably means that next Monday, that the Judgment Day is going to win their tag match because they're going to keep pushing the idea that Judgment Day.
Yeah, they want to make Judgment Day look good.
Yeah,
especially going into Bad Blood. We had a 6-women tag match. We had Pure Fusion Collective taking on Zelina Vega of the LWO, Lyra Valkyria, and their mystery partner, Canada's own Natalya.
Great choice.
I'll be honest, I was 100% predicting they were going to bring in Trish Stratus. Because she's Canadian.
Yeah.
And especially when you have that story with her and Zoe Stark, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Little subtle finish to their rivalry a little bit. They can fight a little bit. But I get Natalya, bringing in Natalya as well, especially as we just had Bret Hart. I get it. They ended up picking the W over Pure Fusion Collective.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. I'm not feeling Pure Fusion.
I don't think anybody is, unfortunately.
I feel like they're,
and especially because I've hyped up Zoe Stark a lot, and I see a lot of potential.
I feel like Zoe Stark would be better by herself.
Yeah, I see a lot of potential in her.
And if she is to be in a group, I don't think this is the right move.
Yeah. We'll see. Getting back to Drew McIntyre, he came out and confronted his good friend Wade Barrett, who was on commentary.
Yeah.
Saying that he got in his way and said that if he ever did that again, basically there would be consequences.
So, first of all, these two are both great friends.
Great friends, traveled the world together, came into the country together.
Yeah.
Got into WWE.
I am really... This might sound stupid to some people. I'm really hoping maybe we can get a little bit back into ring action from
Wade Barrett.
He
says he could do it. It's more about he doesn't have like a crazy desire to get back in, but he said if the right story presented itself in the right circumstances, he'd be open to doing.
I feel like this is a great story for that.
And you could do it just on a Raw. I don't think necessarily you need to hype it up for a PLE.
Yeah.
You could do it on a Raw. You could have Wade Barrett take the night off from commentary, bring in Michael Cole to do one show.
Yeah.
And have him go one-on-one with Drew McIntyre.
Which, first of all, I was really missing Michael Cole, but I did like the new commentating.
Yeah, give him some time. Yeah. I know people are already dogging on him. Give him some time. Give him a few months.
And also, I forgot who it was, but I definitely recognized one of them from like other company, like boxing.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I forgot his name. That's my fault.
It's like Tony. Isn't that Tony something?
I don't know, but he's a great announcer, and I really love what he does.
Yeah. So we have Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Adam Pearce comes out and tells McIntyre that he will face Punk at Bad Blood in a Hell in a Cell match.
Which we have a history of Hell in a Cell matches at Bad Blood. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so this is perfect in my opinion. I feel like it's a perfect way to settle it.
This rivalry.
Yep, settle
Lock
it all.
him in and don't let him out until there's a victor.
One thing that is pretty funny, not funny, I guess like something I've noticed about the rivalry is that every single time they had a match, there's some sort of like stipulation or something with it. There's never been
special guest, strap, and now Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Now, should this match main event Bad Blood? Should it main event?
I definitely don't think Sami Zayn and Gunther should.
I say yes.
I say yes.
Especially with a Hell in a Cell stipulation. I think you put that at the end.
I feel like any of the, I guess, either of the two, either Finn Balor, Damian, or CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, which I think CM Punk and Drew McIntyre would be better.
Especially with the stipulation. And then my next question is, where do these two men go from there after that match?
So I could definitely see CM Punk going straight after Gunther because that's what his plan was originally.
So, sorry, backpedal a little bit. Who do you think is going to win? Obviously,
between the two?
We'll have our official predictions later on in another episode, but between the two, who do you think at this point is going to win?
Well, I feel like if CM Punk's going to go after Gunther after, it would have to be CM Punk.
Yeah. I think the next PLE is Survivor Series.
Yeah.
So I think at Survivor Series, I think you got a good chance of seeing Punk versus Gunther for the world title. Especially it's like 1 year after he had returned, and he's getting the world title shot.
And also, CM Punk's record ever since he did return, he's only won one match. And he's lost the other two, which was the Royal Rumble and...
Unless you can... But that's talking like TV. He had a couple live events. But
he did have the one with Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic Mysterio. But I get what you're saying.
I mean, like, televised events.
Yeah, he's only had technically 3 matches. The Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and the Bash in Berlin.
Yeah, and he's only won one of those matches. If he's going to go up against Gunther, he's going to have to earn it. You know, he's going to have to win.
What better way than main eventing a PLE against Drew McIntyre, the jackest guy in the locker room, in Hell in a Cell?
So, do you agree that CM Punk's going to win, or who do you think will win?
I think from an unbiased perspective, I think Punk will win.
Yeah.
Now, who do I want to win? I want Drew McIntyre to kick CM Punk's head off. But I don't see that going to be the case. However, so we talked about where Punk will go. If McIntyre loses, where does he go from there?
I don't know.
That's where I think you could maybe pull off the Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
There's a little story there then. He hinted at it a little bit on this Raw. Then if Barrett gets involved somehow...
Do you think the point of that specific part right there is to plant a seed for the next rivalry?
You know, I think part of it is they planted it a little bit to see maybe on social media how people would react to it.
Because it's really small.
Are people open to it? Like, would people be invested in a Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre match?
I am.
And I think you could do it just on a Raw. Like a main event for Raw, McIntyre versus Wade Barrett. You could do something there.
I would definitely be for it. Yeah. Definitely. I feel like it would be a great way to just get to get Drew McIntyre still relevant after this rivalry, because I don't see him going anywhere else after this. I'm going to be honest. Maybe Braun Breaker, but I don't think that's a good idea.
That's the thing. If he doesn't go against Wade Barrett after, I could definitely see him taking some time off.
Yeah.
and then Punk kind of just being the main guy on Raw for a bit.
Or you could also see him going after Jey Uso, which...
If Jey Uso wins the IC title.
Yeah, which I don't think he will.
I don't think he will. No, I think Braun Breaker's going to hold on to that title for a hot minute.
I think Braun Breaker, if not, will be one of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time.
No more than Gunther. No way he's better than Gunther.
I'm saying one. One of them.
One of. All right. Moving on, we had Rey Mysterio defeat Finn Balor by disqualification.
Yeah, so really, I was really glad they ended it like this because this is definitely a match I could see later in the future because both of these guys are great.
And you don't want, especially because they're trying to keep Rey Mysterio as high as they possibly can.
Yeah.
You don't want him to suffer just a big loss to Finn Balor unless there was maybe some cheating involved. But I think a DQ was a good way to go.
Wasn't it because he was like continuing to attack him on the ropes or whatever? Yeah. So, yeah, after the match, then he did the drop kick to the turnbuckle and just continued beating him up.
Wouldn't stop. Wouldn't lay off. Main event of the night. Fatal 4-way for the number one contendership for the Intercontinental Championship.
I almost thought Ilya Dragunov was going to win this. I really thought he was going to win. So, that night, people were not invested with him. Like, the crowd was not invested with Ilya Dragunov at all. If you noticed that, like, during his entrance or anything, people were just... He was, like, going like this, trying to get people hype, and everyone was just, like...
I'm invested. I'm always doing this when his entrance is going on.
Every single time his entrance is going, I'm, like, in my room going... I'm, like, hype, man. I love Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov is the man.
I feel like other people don't have the love for him like we do.
Yeah, we got the appreciation. He was a banger NXT champion.
No, I feel like that's the main reason, though. The reason we love him so much is because we've actually watched his NXT matches.
I think a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, maybe there's a lot of fans out there that don't watch NXT.
He was looking like he was going to do a coast to coast but then got super kicked by Jey Uso during the match.
Yeah.
I thought was a pretty cool moment. All these guys were killing it.
I thought Jey Uso was the obvious pick, so maybe they're gonna like make him not win as like a little like surprise. But with Braun Strowman, he got out because Big Bronson Reed jumped from the barricade onto the top of him,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
onto the table,
and it's not like Braun Strowman was like laying on the table. He was standing up straight and. He just jumped on top of, and they just kind of rolled on the table, and the table fell apart under the guy's weight.
It was sick. It was so unexpected too.
Yeah.
Also,
I see that match maybe going down at Bad Blood.
Yeah, I really thought Ilya Dragunov was going to win though. Either way, Jey Uso is the next challenger. This will probably happen at Bad Blood.
Now, however, I did see that it might happen on the Raw before.
Maybe.
Because they usually tend to have about 5 matches a PLE. And so we have Punk McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. You know that's going to take up some good time. You got Liv and Rhea, Finn and Damian Priest. I'm assuming I wouldn't be surprised if you have like an American-made Alpha Academy because you don't just want one-on-one, and
you need tag action.
Some variety. So I could see a tag match there. And maybe another one-on-one.
Yeah, I definitely don't see any tag action.
Maybe the triple threat. You got to throw some SmackDown stuff on there.
Yeah.
So you could have a triple threat between LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes.
Definitely. We'll probably have the women's
championship. You got Bayley, Nia Jax.
But besides from that, I don't see what other matches could go on there.
And I imagine Cody's going to be on the show because he's been doing the promo commercials for it.
Yeah.
So I assume Cody's going to defend the title there. It's just about who.
If that's the case, I really, really hope it's not Solo.
Yeah, I don't want to see that again. I'm over it. I'm going to say it. I'm over it.
I'm over Cody. I'm done with him.
Are you breaking up with him?
You know, Cody,
look,
we all wanted you to finish this story.
And we're glad you did.
That was probably the greatest story in
wrestling history. They're going to teach this whole Bloodline saga, Cody's story, in like colleges. Like it's going to be a class one of these days.
It's going to be
they're going to teach it.
Wrestling History 101.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like the final.
Yeah.
They're going
you have to write the timeline of everything.
Anyways, what we're saying is, Cody, we're glad. You did it. You made a huge impact on the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
But once again, you're kind of leaving us still. The reason we were so hype about you winning is because we were like, okay, we don't have to deal with this Roman Reigns stuff anymore. Yeah. We don't have to deal with watching these matches of Roman Reigns winning continuously, knowing he's going to win.
He's going to win.
With you, we had a hope. We had a hope that there is going to be more like surprises with this championship. We're going to see more title changes. We're going to see more history develop with this new championship. But what do?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Same thing every week.
It's the same thing, but with a face. That's literally all it is. Same thing with a face.
Turn him heel.
If Cody turned heel, I would tune in to SmackDown in my sleep.
In his sleep. He'd watch it multiple times a day.
I'd watch an episode multiple times, even though I know what's going to happen in that episode.
He'd watch the episodes backwards. That's how much he'd watch it. He doesn't want to miss any little thing, so he'll watch it any way he can.
I'm just saying, I hope that there's other people that agree.
No, I think that's a majority opinion. I think a lot of people agree.
Because even my brother that does not really care about WWE as much as us, he's
even over it.
He's even over it. He doesn't even like Cody. He wanted Cody to lose at Mania. Was he right? Was he predicting this to happen?
He may have seen things before we did.
He might have saw the future.
He might have.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think of Cody Rhodes? We keep asking you to put this in the comments, but seriously, I don't like this. I don't like it. Wrestling is cool again, but Cody, you're starting to make it uncool again.
Ooh,
that's a hot. That's a hot
Clip
take.
That.
It's a hot take, but it's what I believe.
We might get some hate mail for that one.
But still, there's no way you could defend Cody with what's happening. Cody versus Rock.
It's just getting boring. It's getting boring.
It's draining.
Yeah.
Cody versus Rock does not need to be for the title. No title involved, because then we know the answer and we don't care. We don't have interest.
All right. Blood pressure's getting high. All
right, let's talk about NXT.
You know a little bit more because I was busy this night, so you tuned in and watched it.
First of all, we started off with the tag team match.
So it was going to be Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the Rascals, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. So in come the Street Profits.
First of all, I'm really glad that they ended this match not like with an official pinfall or submission, because these are former NXT champions, and let's be honest here, I could see them absolutely winning that match.
Yeah.
But this thing was so surprising to me. I did not expect this at all. The bloodline was what caused the match to be over. And they definitely
just destroyed everybody.
They destroyed everybody. They definitely left a mark. So I'm starting to think that, I don't know. I'm wondering where they're going to go with this.
Yeah.
Maybe they want a pay raise as well. Maybe everybody wants pay raises.
Everybody's working double duty nowadays. Second match, you had Julia defeating Chelsea Green. Julia's first match in the WWE.
Yep.
And she's already got a NXT title shot coming up on the first NXT on the CW.
She did great in her debut. I just want to point that out. She looked great.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if she would be one of the people. Is she the
one to take the title from Roxanne?
Yeah.
You think she's the one?
I could see her being drafted to Raw or SmackDown the next draft.
In the next draft that quick?
I could see it. I can see it.
All right. Respect.
I can see it.
NXT Heritage Cup champion Charlie Dempsey defeated Javon Evans.
Ooh.
He had Cedric Alexander in his corner.
Yep.
Kind of trying to be his hype man. Obviously wasn't enough for tonight.
Yep.
For this night. You had Obafemi pretty much putting out an open challenge.
And it was a dude that was paid by the Dunn. The Dunn was like, I need you to take him out.
A lot of people were thinking this was going to be Omos.
Yeah.
I
thought it was going to be Omos because, let's be honest here, the video, he looked just about as big.
Looked like a big dude. And this guy was a big dude.
This dude was a big dude.
Hammerstone from TNA.
Yeah. I almost had Hammer Shark. I don't know why.
Hammerstone.
Hammerstone
from TNA.
He looked good.
Yeah, big boy. 2 big boys going at it for the North American.
The crowd was definitely hyped from it. Great move by Shawn Michaels. If that was his
Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I'm sure that was his decision. Anyways, great match. Loved it. Of course,
Obafemi. I don't know who's going to take the title off of this guy.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Definitely can see him going to the main roster.
Speaking of unstoppable, Ridge Holland.
Oh, yeah.
Taking on Duke Hudson.
Duke Hudson was like, hey, Andre, tune in because I'm about to beat him up. Because the Andre Chase wasn't there that night because he had like injuries. I think. Injuries
from Ridge Holland's attack.
And Ridge Holland got the upper hand and he was just attacking him. He even got to the point where I think he shoved Duke Hudson into one of the other Chase U members and it injured him as well.
Oh no! I still hope that they make a faction. They put Ridge Holland with Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen.
I can see it.
I think that would be a cool faction. 3 of them, like a cult-like faction with Sean Spears as like the leader.
Sean Spears definitely has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I love Sean Spears.
I'm
so glad he's just not the perfect 10 anymore.
Yeah, he's kind of... Yeah, I love the role that he's in. Wendy Chu and Rosemary attacked Jordan Grace, who had put her TNA Knockouts Championship on the line. Open challenge. Sol Ruka accepted, but in came Wendy Chu and Rosemary, who put a stop to things.
I also want to point out that this show technically had 3 title matches, including the Heritage Cup. So, first of all...
And full of TNA people.
Yeah.
You had Jordan Grace, Rosemary, and Hammerstone, all from TNA.
Yep. Great show. That match, great match, ended off with the disqualification. I thought Sol Ruka she had a chance. She had a chance. Sol Ruka looked good, by the way.
Yeah.
She looked great. But yeah, that was the outcome of the match.
Final match of the night, you had Trick Williams against Pete Dunn in a last man standing match.
Yeah. First of all, you can see that Pete Dunn was still hurt from the Monday night.
A little sore. He was only 24 hours removed.
He had like a bruise on his eye.
Yeah. Well, he's the bruiserweight.
Anyways, I wanted to just say this match carried that show tonight, to be honest.
Yeah.
First of all, there's just so much happening with what was going on. Both of them did amazing in making that match happen. The highlight, of course, was whenever they're on top of the rings here.
That little podium or whatever
it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
And
if you don't, search it up. It was sick. But anyways, they both collapse onto the table. It's down there, and then here comes Ethan Page begging Butch or Pete Dunne
to
get up, and he doesn't. He decides he's like I'm gonna make sure that Trick Williams doesn't get up, so he goes over and runs over the Trick, but Trick Williams throws him onto the table, and he collapses through the table, and Trick Williams wins.
And it looks like we're getting a title match between the two, Ethan Page and Trick Williams.
The winner of that match was going to face Ethan Page.
On the first NXT on the CW.
Yep. Excited for that. Trick Williams definitely deserved it. Great. It was just a banger match. Whoop that Butch.
Whoop that Butch.